be taking you all to a storehouse in the Bales. Leave anything you don't need behind. If you're ready, we leave at once.
Not here. Good girl.
Fly, Ambrosia.
Thanks, girl.
Oh, there you are, Sid. The ruins are just over there, as is the creature I told you about, I'd imagine. Would you mind?
Of course. Anybody home? This must be our unwanted visitor. Time to go. Too slow. Nice try. The things I do for you, Mid.
Sid! Oh, thank goodness you're safe.
You shouldn't have any trouble now.
Indeed. Well, don't let us keep you. We'll, see that everything is transported safely back to the hideaway.
All right. I'll let Mid know you're on your way.
come up with something soon.
Mid. Helena has recovered the material for the helm. She'll be along shortly.
Excellent. Another job well done.
And just one remaining.
Right. Right, the shielding. This one's a bit of a bugger.
How so?
The plating's enough to stop the engines going pop, but those things will still be spitting out enough fire to set the rest of the ship ablaze. Which is why you need proper shielding. A prison for the dragon's breath that's blazing away inside. I thought a triple thick layer of tempered steel might do it. Or more of the stuff that the Fallen use, but they'd both be too heavy. The helm and the plating are bulky enough as it is. Add any more weight and the whole ship would be at the bottom of the briny before we'd even started. I need something light. But I've racked my brains and I just can't think what would do it.
Well, if I were in need of obscure knowledge, I know whose counsel I would seek. Harpocrates.
Tomes? Yeah, well, I'd have thought of that, obviously. I've got all the details written down here. Can you take this to him, see what he makes of it?
Right away.
I've been going round in circles trying to find something sturdy enough to...
How may I help you today, Clive? Here you are. All done?
We're seeing troops amass at every border crossing.
Oh, I'm never drinking again.
Harpocrates.
For you, Clive? Always.
Well, actually, it's for Mid this time. Could you take a look at this?
Shielding for a mithril engine? Whatever will that girl think of? And what are these notes around the edges?
She has some specific requirements for the materials. The shielding needs to be able to resist extreme heat on the inside, and yet remain cool enough on the outside not to set the ship alight, while also being light enough not to sink it. As you can imagine, she's struggling to find anything that meets her needs.
I see.
I wondered if you might know of a solution, or if you might be able to search the records for one.
Perhaps it is not a different material she requires, but a different approach.
What do you mean?
Consider the lake we have made our home. Its blighted waters eat away far more quickly than fresh water or even brine, at timber and steel alike. And yet, we have made a home here from those very materials nonetheless.
We have. But Bardolph must varnish every board twice over to keep it from rotting. And Obelus complains that without a constant supply of... pitch. I see.
Early Gregorian histories speak of a preparation known as moon dew. It is said to be able to resist even the most ferocious flames. Before the dragoons tamed the worms and wyverns of the realm, nobles would daub their castle walls with it in order to guard against dragon fire.
So if we could recreate it...
It might be applied to some material or other in order to provide the protection Mid requires. As to how best to apply it and to what material, perhaps Bardolph and Obelus might be of assistance. I shall speak to them and see what wisdom they might have to offer. If you would be so kind as to procure the necessary ingredients, I shall discuss the specifics of how it might be most effectively put to use with our two friends. The knowledge of the past may yet prove useful to we of the modern era.
Thank you, Hippocrates. And since you're asking others to help you, perhaps I should too.
So you need a hand, do you?
We do. I'll be heading to market for the ingredients we need. I could do with some help. And some company, too.
The other can assist me in researching how best to prepare the shielding itself.
Can we count on your aid?
Always. Well, if Jill's game.
Thank you.
I am sure either of these fine young minds would prove indispensable in my research. I leave the decision as to who will go with whom in your capable hands, Clive.
Shielding that guards against even the most ferocious flames. We could have done with some of that on Drustinus.
I doubt I would have survived that place with or without it. A trip to Northreach, though, I think either of us could handle.
So, Clive, who will accompany you on your little excursion?
All right. So, what are we fetching?
I have taken the liberty of preparing a list. Here.
Garlic? Conch shells? Are you sure this is the right list? Looks like the ingredients for someone's supper.
Though these items may seem mundane, they have potent effects that are rarely exploited. Effects for which they were once highly, so much so, in fact, that they were harvested almost to extinction, hence moon dews having fallen from favor. Now, of course, they can be obtained with ease. You should be able to find everything you need.
Well, isn't that... I was hoping to be able to make a trip over that way sometime soon. Need to speak to an old acquaintance.
All right.
See you later, Clive.
Good luck with your research.
Hippocrates and I'll look after things here. You head over to Northreach.
Now, where's Talia?
Do you see anything you like? I'll be here if you need me.
Keep them pilgers nice and chilled.
Need to stock up on
I won't
these.
have you spoiling another camp.
There you are, Talia.
Ah, we shouldn't have any problems finding what we... But if time is of the essence, perhaps we should...
All right.
Let's see now. Why don't you meet me by the gate when you've got...
Up! You'll not find a bruise. Fresh cuts. Come and get them.
What can I interest you in today? Ah, yes. All anyone ever wants
How the hell is anyone's...
Oi, don't touch anything. Go on. Take
I
it.
should do it. Hopefully Talia's finished too.
Well, did you find everything?
I did. Here.
Garlic and pepio. We should get this back to Tomes then. But we're not in too much of a rush, are we? Do you know, I think this is the very first time we've been out on an errand together.
I think you might be right.
In all the years since you and that scowl of yours first appeared, you haven't invited me out once. For shame.
Well, it seemed long overdue. And you did say you had some shopping to do.
I was hoping to restock my supplies of herbs and liniment, yes. You and Jill alone burned through them like wildfire. No luck, though. My usual supplier's not here, and I refuse to pay the prices these gougers charge.
I'll ask Karen when we get back. What is it?
Oh, just memories. I came here with Sid once, shopping for supplies, just like today. And just like today, I came away empty-handed. Sid even said he'd speak to Karen for me when we got back. Has it really been 5 years? I remember it as if it was yesterday. Hold on. Does that mean it's been 5 years since we met? Feels a lot longer.
It does. In a good way, of course. Thank you, Taya.
For what?
For everything. I just want you to know that all you've done for us.
Do you think I'd stick around if I thought it wasn't? But in the spirit of sharing and caring, you're appreciated too, by all of us. Well, I think we've tarried long enough. I ought to get these ingredients back to Tome so he can make up this. I'll meet you back at the hideaway, all right?
All right.
I heard you the first time.
I wonder how Hippocrates is getting on with the moon dew.
Oh, I'm never drinking
Ah, better late than never.
Welcome home. He had a...
How's work on the shielding progress?
Well, very well indeed. And thanks in no small part to your kind assistance. I was just explaining to Taya how we might best go about preparing the moon dew. And now that we have all the ingredients, we may begin.
You can count on me. I've mixed more than a few mysterious concoctions in my time.
I'm sure you have. What about the shielding itself?
Work is underway, under the watchful eyes of Bardolph and Obolus.
Apparently, it'll be ready soon.
Thank you. All of you.
Right then. Jill, would you join me in the infirmary? Many hands make light work and all that.
Of course.
Oh, and Clive. It was good to talk. We should do it again sometime.
It appears our work here is almost at an end. A shame. I was enjoying playing the man of action for once. When both the shielding and the moon dew are ready, it will merely be a matter of applying the one to the other, followed by a rigorous process of testing and retesting, of course. Perhaps someone ought to warn young Mid of that.
Leave it to me. Thank you, Arbok. Well, I'd better go and give Mid the good news then.
crystal too? You're joking.
Editors started reading books that don't have any pictures in.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Mid. But you'll be pleased to know that work on the shielding is underway.
You found something for it?
In a manner of speaking, Hippocrates knew of a substance that's highly resistant to heat. A coating that should be supervising the construction and testing of the shielding as we speak.
Brilliant! I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Don't thank me. I'm just...
Right then, better start working out how to bolt all these bits together. To the Black Hammer!
You know, when I got into the smithing game, I thought I'd be making swords and shields, not thermal bleeding didgeridoo-dahs.
Displacement stacks.
Same difference. Whatever you call it, I ain't putting it together in here. It's cramped enough as it is. Let's take this outside. Mid, you get all the parts lined up on the deck. I'll take care of the rest.
On my way!
Oh, and bring me the biggest hammer you can find. This is gonna require some precision walloping.
It's finished! It's finally finished!
Thank fuck for that. I'll be feeling my hammer arm for weeks.
Thank you, Clive, Blackthorn, everyone. That's one down and just 3 more to go.
I'm sorry.
Oh, didn't I tell you? The Enterprise has 4 mithril engines, and we'll be needing a displacement stack for each.
You don't mean...
Don't worry. Now they've got a finished one to work off. My gang in Canva can build the rest.
Good luck to them, I say. Right, I'm off to get a sling for this elbow. Any other work comes in, keep it to yourselves, eh?
What's the matter?
Nothing. Just thinking about the Enterprise sailing off over the horizon to shores unknown, searching for a land untouched by the Blight. Just like me and my dad planned. So if the worst came to the worst and every scrap of soil in the Twins turned black, we might still have a chance. That's what she was meant to be. You see, one last chance just in case we needed it. But now she's so close to being finished, I've realized I don't want it to be that. I don't want it to be just a lifeboat for us to cling to if things get desperate. I want people to sail aboard her by choice, not from the lack of it. In a world where we're not just trying to survive, but where...
I'm working on that, and I'll do everything I can to get you what you want.
All right. My mind's made up. As soon as the Enterprise is fit to sail, I'm putting her under your command. Sod our plans, I'm trusting in yours.
Are you sure about this?
Something tells me it's what my dad would have wanted.
He'd be proud of you.
You were going to visit his grave, weren't you?
I was. And you can come too, now that you're little
Right. There's just one thing I need to finish up first.
All right. I'll let Otto know you're coming.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Is that the thing Tomes helped?
Mid told me she was building a ship.
Think Mid might need some help tidying up.
Well. Here, Sid. Reckon you might be just the man to help me out of a bit of bother.
Let's hear it.
Well, it's about this alembic the chief's got me making. Lovely bit of kit, it is. Bunging a solution you want splitting, and it will separate it out. Problem is, it won't always get rid of all the impurities. And with some of the stuff we need it for, which is why I've been looking for something to filter the liquid we'll be cooking off. And that's where I was hoping you could help me out.
I imagine Ty could get some use out of this alembic too. Distilling medicines and the like. All right. Why not?
Proper job!
So what exactly do you need for this filter?
Nothing but bomb ash'll do, says the chief. Gave me a sample she'd obtained from the university stores. Couldn't believe my eyes. You pour the blackest blight water through it, and it comes out clear as a mountain stream. So, I did a bit of reading about where I might be able to get hold of some. And do you know what I found out? It's only the blimmin' bones of a bomb king. They leave them behind when they die, see?
I take it that's where I come in.
I saw a billet on the hunt board for one just the other day. Would have gone myself, but, well, fighting dirty great balls of flame isn't exactly my forte.
All right.
Thank you, kind.
Let's go.
Fly, Ambrosia.
Here. Greetings, Your Majesty. Your reign is over. Now to collect the ash. This looks like the stuff. Let's see if there's any more. That's it.
Is that the thing Tomes helped to build?
Mid told me she was building a ship.
Think Mid might need some help tidying up.
All right there, Sid? How's that hunt for the bomb ash going?
I have it here.
That's the stuff. And plenty of it, too. Enough to keep the alembic bubbling away for a good old while. You're a gent, Sid. Let none say otherwise. Right then. Let's get this contraption up and running. There we have it. The Telemon Alembic. And it works just like the chief said it would.
Very impressive.
Says the man who cut down a burning boulder. Speaking of which, I still haven't returned the favor.
There's no need. The good it will do for the hideaway is reward enough.
Don't be silly. Why don't you let me take a look at that bag of yours? The one you keep your potions in. Reckon I could work some magic on that, huh?
What kind of magic?
Well, we happen to have isolated a substance in our test run of the alembic that I reckon will make even the toughest lever supple as anything. Thought we might use it to breathe new life into old boots and the like. Save the hideaway a few gil. Ah, I reckon if we slap a bit on your bag, it'll loosen it up enough for you to squeeze in a bottle or two more.
Well, it can't hurt to try, I suppose.
That's the spirit. Leave it with me. I'll only be a mo. Well, what do you reckon?
It certainly feels more flexible.
Right? Told you.
Thank you. I think.
No. Thank you for supporting Mid and the rest of us in our endeavors. Without you, we'd never have been able to discover wonders like that stuff I rubbed on your bag. And I'm telling you, there's plenty more where that came from.
Oh. يا ساتر.
told me she was building a ship.
Is that the thing Tomes helped with?
He cracked the crystal too.
Hopefully it's nothing. But I should speak... What could be wrong with Torgor? He seemed well enough when I last saw him. Trouble with the ledgers. Shouldn't he be asking Otto for help?
Crack the crystal too. Joking.
It's no joke.
I got your note. You think something's wrong with Torgor?
So you can read. But I didn't say I were wrong with him. I said something weren't right. He used to love cracking the bones from Molly's boiled brown, but now he won't so much as didn't like him. Which is why I'm of a mind. You've not been working him too hard, have you?
No harder than usual. Is that it, boy?
What was it you said he was? A frost wolf?
That's what the lawsman seems to think.
Then maybe this all has something to do with whatever it is that's woken inside.
I suppose things have been different since Rosalith. Perhaps Hippocrates knows something.
Instead of everything. Yep.
Lawsman, I need to ask you about Torgor. Something's not right with him.
He isn't ill, is he?
I don't think so. But according to Lady Karen, he seems to have lost his appetite, which is certainly a new development. She says he's hardly been touching his bones of late, and she believes it may have something to do with what happened at Rosalith Castle.
I rather think she might be right, though not about his appetite. All canids are instinctively inclined to crack open bones for the rich marrow that resides within, and I see no reason why a frost wolf should be any different. Accordingly, I suspect it is not a lack of appetite that afflicts Torgal, but a surfeit of it. If we assume that his newfound magics require additional nourishment to sustain, it may well be that the bones Lady Karen is accustomed to providing are no longer sufficient. Frost wolves, after all, habitually prey upon far larger animals, whose bones may yield altogether different nutrients. As to where one might find a suitable substitute, some antelopes that graze the meadows of eastern Rosaria have been known to grow to a size more than double that of their lesser cousins.
I don't recall ever seeing any that large.
And little wonder. The oldest and largest such creatures rarely leave the safety of the highlands for fear of predators. The last elder antelope sighting I recall hearing about took place near Cressida, and that was long before the village was abandoned.
Even so, it seems like a good place to start.
Good hunting, Clive.
She had a man of Grieger mopping their grounds.
Please, teach me how to fight.
If you're still here when my shift is over.
Good girl. No holding back. Well, it's certainly quiet. If I were a giant antelope, you'd see like just the place. We'll find one bigger than that. You hungry, Torgal? Now. Will it be enough, I wonder? I say that answers my question, which means we owe the lawsman our thanks. You're just a big puppy, aren't you? A very big puppy. Lady Karen will be relieved to hear you've got your appetite back.
I noticed you and Torgal had gone off somewhere. So, Molly's leftovers weren't good enough, eh? That'll teach me for treating you like you're still a pup. All right, no need to shout. Now we know what you're after, I can see about getting some in.
Speaking of which, I brought one for later. Can I leave it with you?
You can, aye. In return, you can thank Tomes for me.
I was just on my way to see him.
Oh, I'm never drinking again, no matter whose funeral it is.
Ah, were you able to look?
We were indeed, lawsman. You pointed us in exactly the right direction. And
very good.
Lady Karen sends her thanks, by the way, for your part in solving.
Ah. But that reminds me. After your last visit, I found my... Do you recall our conversation concerning Lady Jill's role in Torgal?
About how she somehow woke...
Precisely that. A reasonable conclusion, I thought. But one which raised certain questions. The Fenrir of legend served Shiva, and and while the powers attributed to him are certainly impressive, the records imply they are somewhat different in nature to those you described.
What are you suggesting?
That Torgal may be the beneficiary of more than one icon's power. Consider that in addition to Lady Jill, he has served as a loyal companion to you, your brother, and even the late Cid. In short, the icons hitherto near at hand, or should I say at paw, have been diverse and plenty, and that number has only grown As the realm's dominance have fallen to you, one can but speculate as to how all...
He has seemed more fierce.
And if I'm not mistaken, he will grow fiercer still. We are fortunate indeed to be able to count him amongst our...
Is that the thing too?
Mid told me she was building a ship.
Clive.
That's why I'm here.
Shh. Otto won't be listening. A little. Listen. I've some bad news. It turns out the Hideaway may be slightly behind in its payment to certain lenders, and it may be my fault, but I swear to the goddess. Sadly, that square turned out to be more of a circle. I can straighten it out, I swear, but it's gonna take some time. I'm gonna need help keeping it from Otto.
Bit late for that, Oz.
There you are! What's...
So let me get this straight. You forget to pay our lenders what they're due, and instead of coming straight to me, you get Clive to come to you. You know, he'll dig you out of the hole you've dug for years. The man in charge of the place you've been cheerfully trying to bankrupt. And you thought this was a cunning plan. Well, who needs paying?
Oh, just Martha. And the dame. And, well, Lady Karen. But only 500 talent.
We owe 3 of our most trusted friends 5 million gil.
Each. 5 million. Each. They lent us the bulk of the money we used to rebuild the Hideaway, you see, and, well, I must have made some sort of...
Those ledgers were my responsibility.
Do we have that much to hand? I can always ask my uncle.
No, we don't. And no, you won't. We've lightened Lord Rossfield's person after the king's ransom we had off him. He deserves better than to see our begging bowl. Besides, we'll need to learn to stand on our own if we're going to make this work.
All right. But that doesn't mean you have to shoulder the burden yourself. Is there anything I can do to...
There might be. How'd you fancy taking these to Martha?
Rocks.
Rocks? He says. Worth 1,000 talents apiece, the little something Sid and I set aside for. And I reckon 15 million in overdue debt probably qualifies. I just hope our associates' eyes are a bit more discerning.
I'm sure there will be.
Should be me making the rounds, Rick. But you know how it is with this place. Orders to bark, arses to wipe and all that.
I know. Which is why I do...
Go. Do you know why I only gave Master Clive here 2 star rubies?
Because you'd rather Lady Karen killed...
Because I'd rather Lady Karen killed you.
Well, I suppose.
Don't worry.
Really?
No.
Clive, we weren't expecting...
I wasn't expecting, but it seems we still owe you a considerable amount. And though I doubt it's what you were expecting, we were hoping you'd take...
A star ruby? It's worth at least twice what you owe me. More if you can find yourself the right...
Think of the difference as interest.
Interest? If word got out I charged that much, no one would ever borrow from me again. Anyway, why are you the one here asking me about this? Bit much sending the Lord Marquis out to settle your debts, isn't it? The old goat working himself to death.
Something like that. Most days I think he's the only reason the hideaway still stands.
Same as always. Back when the place was nothing but a twinkle in the eye of a recently retired Lord Commander, word is he was the first one Sid reached out to. Probably knew that without his strong arm and level head, the idea would never get off the ground. Sid may have been the face of the hideaway, but Otto's always been the backbone. And when Sid passed away, we were all worried that would be the end of it. That Otto...
His death was hard on everyone.
But he didn't give up, did he? Quite the opposite, in fact. If I recall, he was the one who nominated you as Sid's replacement. And rallied the rest around. I reckon what he saw in Sid, and don't we all? Doesn't hurt that you're half as stubborn and twice as handsome, neither. That, and you keep good company.
There's talk that the Glassgate flood has finally...
Did you hear? The gates to heaven.
I want to see you.
What am I going to do without sweet water and oil of talc?
Milady.
Gifts? Oh my. Clive, you really have outdone yourself.
Otto asked me to give it us to do so.
You disappoint. I thought you might finally be warming to me. Tell Otto he can keep his baubles. I tried to tell him as much the first. The man owes me nothing. Nor does the High. My contribution to the restoration effort was made freely and willingly.
You once told me Sid did you a kindness. I'd like to do the same. Please, accept it. And for Otto's. For all of us.
Otto is lucky to have you, I doubt anything could ever replace his son. But you and the others at the hideaway are the close.
Otto had a son.
Long ago. Yes. And blamed himself for not being able to stop it. I don't know how it happened. Whether there was anything he could have done. But it was clear that it weighed heavily.
I didn't know.
How could you have? I doubt anyone did. Besides Sid, I've never met a man more keen to bear his sorrows in stoic silence. An ill habit.
Go will want to know the stones were delivered. If he's still with us.
Is that the thing Tomes helped to do?
Mid told me she was building a ship.
Goat. So Lady Karen accepted the route.
About that. I tried my best, but she was just too stubborn to take it. She threw it right back in my face, in fact, and told me I could stick my stupid stone where the sun don't shine.
Karen refused payment.
I hope it wasn't something I said.
I'm sure you were as tactful as ever.
Oh, wonderful.
Lady Karen, Goad tells me you weren't happy with our offer. Would you prefer the debt was repaid in coin?
What debt? I don't recall lending any of you lot me hard-earned gil. I may have tossed a talent or two in the Hideaway's coffers, but those were donations. And you can hardly call it charity if you go asking for it.
Of course not. But one good turn deserves another. In our surely you wouldn't shun the gratitude of a pauper who happened to have become a prince.
Oh, so you're fine. But I'm selling it and taking what I'm owed, then you're getting the rest whether you like it or not. Where'd you even get this? A decent trader might nab 1,000 talents for a star ruby. A canny one, meanwhile, might claim it were nicked from the belt of Sid the Outlaw himself and ask twice as... Might be I already have a buyer in mind. Might be you even know her. A fine continental maid whose beauty's only eclipsed by a guiling. You wouldn't mind, would you?
Not at all. Just be...
I hear you ended up delivering... Thanks to this lump. I sometimes wonder what I pay you for.
Speaking of which, I still haven't been paid last month.
Oh, so you remember what's owed to you then? Get your ass behind that disc of yours and don't get up before those ledgers are square.
Right away.
I've seen that before.
Yeah. Plenty of times. It was the only goblet Sid ever used. Either out of habit, or because the filthy sod couldn't be bothered to find a clean one.
I knew so little about him.
Like most people.
Martha and the Dame both seem to have fond memories of him.
I bet they do.
How long did you know Sid before he
died? 20 summers, give or take. Back in the day, I was a purser on a trade ship, which is where I met him. He bought passage to, forget where. And having nothing better to do on the long nights, we set up drinking island rum till the morning bell dragged me back to my duties. Quit my post not long after that, on account of making a fine maiden's belly fat. But me and Sid stayed close, promising we'd one day sail the seas again. That was before fate stepped in and said she was having none of it. The magic woke inside my son soon after his first name day, and there was no hiding his knack.
Couldn't you and your family have?
My family were the ones who summoned the constable, wanted the monster taken away. I couldn't turn my back on him, and I couldn't for the life of me understand how they could. Luckily, Sid was of the same mind as me. It was him who stood beside me when all I wanted was to tear the whole world down. Him who cried for me when I had no tears left of my own. Him who swore he'd do everything he could to stop it from happening again. And he was true to his word, too. Left the Royal Army once and for all. His ranks, his ribbons, gone. Just like that. Threw away everything he had. All to right a wrong that no one else had the courage to face. I knew then I'd follow that man to the ends of the earth. He was always too clever for his own good, was Sid. Saw the world for what it really was, while the rest of us were content to go along with the lie we were shown. And it can't have been easy, bearing that burden alone. But he didn't let it stop him. He never lost faith in what he believed was right. And that gave us faith in him. Faith he'd steer us true. So I swore to myself that I'd always be right behind him, ready to catch the stubborn sod, if ever he should fall. But I couldn't even do that. Ignore me. Just the ramblings of a tired old man. Leave that lot. I'll tidy it up in a bit.
This is Sid's handwriting. Dear Otto.
I may be drunk, but I wanted you to know this place would be fucked without you. Love you, you grumpy old sod.
This note.
What about it?
Sid was right. Without you, we'd all be lost.
He should have bloody well said so then. Just once. Before he went. But then, why would he? Him, or anyone? I'd only have told him to piss off. You're wrong, though. Both of you. It was never just me keeping the hideaway afloat. It was all of us. I just shoved people in the right direction, and I barely seem to be able to do that anymore.
Would you rather go at the helm?
Well, maybe I've got a few more years left in me.
I'm going to hold you to that, Otto.
Before you go, Sid would have wanted you to have this.
But that's...
This'll do me just fine. Thanks for the ray of sunshine. I'll see if I can't pay you back.
Already have.
Ned told me she was building a ship.
Is that the thing Tomes helped with?
Blackthorn.
Not really, no.
This won't take long. I just wanted to ask how you're getting on. And you might still be doubting your craft. Even after learning the trick of that cuirass. Perhaps sharing your thoughts might help.
That bastard's like a dog with a bone. Still, you've got a keen eye, I'll give him. He's just, well, Karen showed me something.
And that was?
A sword. An odd-looking thing with a single-edged blade. The metal itself wasn't anything to write home about, but fuck me. The edge on it. You could slice a man clean in two with a weapon like that, and he'd be halfway home before he even realised he'd been cut.
So that's what's troubling you?
No. Not troubling me exactly. More distracting. Can't stop thinking, how do you get an edge that sharp? It's driving me mad.
And if you knew how to do it, we could arm the curse breakers with even better blades.
That's about the size of it, yeah.
I'll see what I can find out. Sharper swords are always welcome. And we can't have our master blacksmith being distracted.
You're a soft touch, you know that. But I can't say I'm not grateful for it. Good luck, eh?
Thank you. Let's see what Karen knows about this sword. You're looking well, Karen.
What do you want?
I want to know about the sword you showed Blackthorn. Single-edged and extremely...
Running around after him again?
I suppose I am, yes. But I need to help him find out how to work an edge like that. It's driving him to distraction.
Little wonder, I suppose. There's not many like that make it as far as the twins, and those that do go straight into private, which made it nice and easy, fine.
Can you tell me who bought it? Where is it now?
You think I tell people who my clients are? Suppose you're not likely to go nicking him off me, are you now? Fine. If you stop mooning at me like that. Lord Ignac's the man you want. Delmechian bloke. Collects weapons and the like. And he's got more money than sense, which is why he's one of my favourite clients. Reckon he'll still be at the inn in Dalamil.
Thank you, Karen.
Oh. And he's a touch eccentric.
I appreciate the warning. People take notice of wealthy men. Shouldn't be too hard to track down Karen's collector.
The Sendrate's fang is gone. The whole Mother Crystal gone. What are we gonna do?
My reputation will be ruined! Ruined!
Calm yourself, Lord Ignac, I beg of you, before you do yourself a mischief.
Pardon the intrusion, but...
Out! Get out! I paid for these rooms so I wouldn't be disturbed. Leave me be!
Please, allow me to apologize. His lordship is going through a difficult time, and he's never been fond of guests arriving unannounced.
Radim! Get rid of the filthy oaf this instant!
Very good, Lord Ignac. Would you mind stepping outside for a moment?
I'm sorry if I've caused you any trouble.
That? No. That's just how his lordship is. Though the morning's events have left him somewhat fractious. He has been dispossessed of his luggage, you see. The thieves also made away with a considerable amount of coin. Coin the innkeeper will soon be keen to collect.
I don't suppose a certain blade was among the stolen items. A single-edged sword. It was purchased from a merchant friend of mine.
Ah, you know Lady Karen. Yes, I'm afraid it was.
Then I'll retrieve Lord Ignac's luggage. But I have one condition.
You have but to state it. You are welcome to anything that is within my power to grant.
I want an audience with Lord Ignac. A few minutes should be enough. Then I'll be on my way.
A condition I would be a fool to refuse. Of course, you shall have your audience.
I don't suppose you saw where the thieves went?
I did not, no. Though some indiscreet inquiries made on his lordship's behalf mean that I know where you might find them. The bandit's bed. Every ill-gotten coin in Dalamal is said to pass through that disreputable corner of the Valcroy.
And that's where I'm heading.
I shall speak to Lord Ignac in your absence, and arrange for an audience upon your triumphant return.
That will be very kind of you.
Farewell, and best of luck.
Fly, Ambrosia. We've got company! Come on, lads, let's tear the bastard's head off! Alright! Let's try.
This must be Ignac's luggage. Nothing seems to be damaged. All right.
I hear I have you to thank for the return of my effects. What shall I call you, my good man?
Wyvern. Glad to make your acquaintance.
A formidable name. Well, Wyvern, I appear to be in your Redeem here tells me you wished for an audience.
A few moments of your time should suffice, yeah.
You're a peculiar fellow, Wyvern.
Master Wyvern was wondering if you could tell him about a certain single-edged sword.
Oh, a true work of art, that one. Karen drove me hard on the price, but I would have sold her Radim here to get my hands on that sword. It was made in the Outer Isles, far beyond the Twins, and is used exclusively by the practitioners of a unique school of swordsmanship. They believe no combat should ever exceed a single strike, and hone their blades to such perfection that none ever does. Each sword is made for that one perfect stroke, and for that stroke only. They crack upon a second blow. There's a brutal sort of beauty.
But how do they hone such an edge?
Why, they use a whetstone, of course. Whetstones, rather. A whole array of them, ranging from the coarse to the fine. 10,000 licks with the sharpening stone, then 10,000 more. But it is the final stone which lends the blade a mineral quite foreign to this great realm of ours. And that is the key. Wyvern, it occurs to me that my little lecture is hardly equal to services rendered. Take this, together with the very stone of which I spoke, far rarer among collectors than even the blade itself, and a far more fitting.
Thank you.
Pardon the intrusion, my lordship. However,
I am locked in bitter competition with a rival collector of curiosity. I am one step ahead of the unscrupulous scoundrel, but he is hard at my...
Are there many other collectors out there?
Too many to count, but only one do I consider my nemesis. Lord Byron Rosfield.
Aslam?
And is a perennial thorn in my side. Farewell, Wyvern, may our paths cross again. Radim, we mustn't dawdle.
Oh.
I think his lordship is rather taken with you, Master Wyvern. Coming, my lordship.
Trust Uncle Byron to find such an interesting right now. Let's see what Black... Sorry for the wait, but hopefully
You learned something about us.
I did better.
A whetstone?
Yes. But not one you'll find anywhere in Valisthea.
No wonder I couldn't get the same finish on the grinding. One hit and all done, eh? Might not be so bad if all you ever fought were duels. Good luck on the battlefield. Your second opponent would be your last, no matter how...
Even so, is there some way it could be used to give the curse breakers an edge?
I think so, yeah. With this whetstone and the right kind of steel, I could probably even make a twin of the blade that rattled me. But there'd be no replacing this little rock once I worn it down to a sliver. I reckon we get a dozen swords from it, if that. Swords that the curse breakers wouldn't know how to wield properly, and that would see them through a single fire piece. Nah, no point trying to copy that thing. Be about as much use as a wax anvil. But finishing our blades with a whetstone this fine, now that's something to consider. And what's finer than fallen masonry, eh? Or more hard-wearing, for that matter. Just imagine it. Good Valesthian steel with an edge as sharp as any found in the Outer Isles. I won't make a copy, nah. I'll make something much better.
I'm sure the curse breakers will be just...
Don't you worry about me, Sunshine. I've been working day and night since I was half your age. And Hey, I owe you one. August 2. It's good to know someone's looking out for me.
You'll be happy to hear you said that.
And I'll see that my debt to you's paid. First new blade I make's got your name on it. You come and find me when you've got the material.
Right?
Clive? What's saying for you, dear? It'd last you a good while. And?
He cracked the crystal too? You're joking.
It's no joke. Dripsfang is gone.
Is that the thing Tomes helped to do?
Ned told me she was building a ship.
All right, Clive. Astrix. Mid finished sending half the hideaway traipsing across the twins, has she? I swear, that girl'd do anything to put off visiting her old dad's grave. No excuses now, though, eh?
Not quite. She said there was one final thing she had to take care of. I'm sure she'll be finished.
She said that?
She did, yes.
Clive? Were you born yesterday or something? There is no thing. She'll probably be halfway to Canva by now.
Mid. I might still be able to catch her. Obolus, have you seen Mid?
Yep.
Then I'm...
You in a hurry at all, are you? Oh, I offered to take her across, but she wouldn't wait. Just paid for a dinghy and rowed up. Got some life in her, but anyway, I was on my way up. Got a letter. Urgent, by the sound of it. One of your uncle's men said I was to hand it to you in person, post bleeding haste.
Thank you, Obolus.
Don't mention it.
What tidings, Uncle? Trouble in Canva. Well, I'll need someone to keep an eye on Mid.
So what? Mid got us to do all the dirty work and then just sailed off into the sunset?
It, seems that way.
Well, nothing we can do about it now. But next time you plan on visiting Sid, you might want to tie her to something before you suggest it.
Ah, don't be so hard on her. Got to admit, the dirty work was kind of fun. Everyone pitching in, all that bollocks. Just like when we built this place.
You're right.
Anyway, we all set to head to the old hideaway. I could do with getting to Canva pretty sharpish. Wouldn't do to keep Lord Rosfield of the Seven High Houses waiting now, would it? Not after he asked for me personally.
Gav will be leaving with me. Will you mind the place while we're gone?
You can count on me. Just be sure. Sid and the others, my regards. All right.
Oh, by the way, Jill will be joining us too. She's got some things to take care of, but she'll meet...
I hope she's telling the truth. Sid. I remember what you told me. But if no one is listening to what you have to say, you may as well not say it. But I will say this, old friend. Hugo Kuka is gone. His shadow looms over us no longer.
It's a pity the Phoenix can't be in two places at once. If he'd have been with us, maybe he could have done something for the lost.
Not even the Phoenix can bring people back from the dead. Life has a beginning and an end. So we must live while we have the chance. And not as slaves to the crystals, but as free men. Lady Karen, what a pleasant surprise.
I thought I'd drop by and see how you were all doing before heading off to restock my supplies. It wasn't the most scenic view back then, but it were never as bad as this.
I know. The blight marches on. And soon, there will be no escaping sights like these. So our mission remains unchanged. We cannot stop until every Mother Crystal is gone, and their thirst for ether with them. The only one that remains in Storm is Drake's Tail in the Crystalline Dominion.
Our next target.
We're going to Twinside.
It's the capital of the Empire these days. I wouldn't like to think how tightly guarded they've got the place. Not that that'll stop you, but we do well to scout it out before you go charging in.
We would indeed.
If you're off to the Dominion, you can take this great lump with you.
Goods.
Oh, I am sorry. Have you forgotten you're the most wanted man in the Twins? I thought you might like to disguise yourselves as the attendants of a travelling trader, assuming you've no better ideas. You wanted to buy yourself some tools, didn't you? Well, now's your chance.
You're letting me go? With them? Oh, thanks, Nan!
Stop that! You'll break me bones, you great galoot! There's a caravan that runs back and forth between the Dominion and the Bocklad markets. It's managed by the Merchants Guild. Just show them Goots' traders pass and you'll be on your way. It'll be a damn sight less risky than footing it the length of the Crystal Road. That's for sure.
Thank you, Karen. And glad to have you with us, Goots.
Okay then. I'll get me things and I'll meet yous there. See yous down in Bocklad.
Get off! Me poor fingers!
Jill, you're with me.
Understood.
And Gav?
Already on my way, Captain.
Be careful.
Aren't I always?
شكلك بتفدق وحش.
Do you see that, Sid? Your protege's making a proper little outlaw of himself.
How are you?
Better. Thanks to Taya.
I'm glad to hear it.
And Torgal helped too. Didn't you, boy?
This used to be a trade route for merchants crossing the Scars, till the Republic laid a new road wide enough to let wagons pass, and all official traffic moved there.
Leaving this one for those living outside the law.
Indeed. I doubt we'll be the only outlaws on the trail today.
Nice try.
So what do you think?
That we'd be lucky to make...
Really?
Oh, aye. There's trouble up...
I take it there's danger on the road.
Oh, what about this fearsome-looking fellow? You think...
Oh, no doubt. Well met, friend. My brother and I have been tasked with finding a merchant's missing cart.
How does a merchant misplace his cart?
Oh, the man's a coward. When he thought goblins might come a-snarling, he ran, leaving his livelihood abandoned in the pass.
He sent the two of us to fetch it, but it's gone. Now, I'm not much of a thinker, but I know the work of thieves when I see it.
My brother's right on all accounts.
We may have seen our share of action, true, but we've not got the skill in arms to boldly...
You, however, have the look of a man who needn't fear a band of backwater ruffians. What do you say? Will you help us out? Chances are they'll come for you either way.
Well, if I'm going to have to deal with them anyway...
You've clearly got a fine head.
We're lucky you came now. Hoping to make a heavy purse in Bocklad. Our merchant reckon he won't be forking over the rest of our fee if we don't find those goods. So, while you're seeing to those bandits, you keep your eyes open.
All right. Just don't expect me to drag the cart out of there myself.
No. You can leave the cart to us. You just put an end to those bandits and point us in the right direction. You do that, we'll take care of the rest.
I'm not sure I trust those two. But if there are bandits lying in wait, I should probably take care of them.
Look lively, you lot. We've got guests.
These must be our bandits. That's them dealt with. Now, where's that cart? Getting all of this out of here will be a nightmare.
Seems we've found ourselves the right man for the job, wouldn't you say?
Found the cart and didn't leave a single bastard breathing.
And how exactly will he be getting his goods out?
You leave that to us. After all, it'd be wrong to make such a fine warrior halt.
You've done your part. And... It's been a pleasure. Now piss off.
There's no need to be so rude. What if we want his help again?
You've had your rewards and you're not getting any more. Now piss off.
I see the Dalmex lag behind Rosaria when it comes to bridge building.
The fallen ruin should hold, at least. The path continues on the other side.
So this is Zemeckis.
The land of the gods. It's even more impressive than I imagined. I remember being captivated by the story as a child.
Long, long ago, man was overcome by avarice and challenged the gods in a bid to win their power. The final battle took place here, at these falls. Or so the legend goes. If anyone ever manages to plumb those depths, perhaps we'll learn if there's any truth to the tale.
That the gods emerged victorious and punished man for his defiance by visiting upon him 2 curses.
Dominance and bearers. To tell the truth, I always thought it strange that the dominant and their icons were deemed a curse. Back home, the dominant inherited the throne. They were admired and exalted, not spurned. Whenever I got to that part of the story, I always assumed there must be something I'd misunderstood.
You had a lot of storybooks, didn't you? In your room, I mean. When we were young.
The old legends were always my favorites. Epic battles between gods and men. Father encouraged me to read as much as I could. He thought it good for my education.
You really were a boy like any other, weren't you?
Just look at this place. It's enough to make you believe the legends are true.
I know.
We're not far from Boklad. The road will be busier up ahead.
And we'll have to keep our wits about us. Clive? Something wrong?
Nothing. It's nothing.
ولد Sambridge.
I see the reports are true, Father. You have surrendered the throne to Olivier.
I have.
شكل البصر.
Emperor Olivier shall rebuild the Holy Empire of Sambreg.
How is he to rule an empire? He is but a boy.
I shall advise him until he comes of age.
Father, please.
Or for as long as I am able. The empire we seek to build needs young blood to rule it. And I can think of none better suited to the task.
شكله.
There is other news, Dion. Hugo Kupka is dead, and Drake's Fang destroyed. The pillars of the Republic have fallen. Ere long, the Imperial banner shall fly over every city in Storm. And then Valisthea. All shall bow before their Emperor.
Father, these are the words of a tyrant.
They are the words of a god. The Emperor whom I gladly serve. Great Grieger, made flesh.
شكله.
Return to your camp, Dion, and ready your forces. It is time to show the world the true power of Sambreg.
Father. I find you much changed. Is this truly the path you wish to tread? Or are these the ambitions of another? Of Ultima, perhaps?
What nonsense is this?
وش عرفهم بألتما ذول؟
I speak my mind, and my mind only. Though I do owe Annabella thanks for reminding me of certain truths regarding the nature of nations, of rulers. and of the divine.
You would trust the words of this traitress? She betrayed her country. She slew her husband.
You have ever been an invaluable servant to Sambrek, Prince Dion. I trust you will continue to serve your Emperor in the wars to come.
The canker! Silence! Insolent wretch! You will bend the knee. All else is heresy.
Sire, forgive me.
This audience is over. Come, your radiance. The Rowena Syndicate awaits your pleasure.
Oh, not another meeting with silly old men. They're so boring. I'm hungry, Father. Can't we have luncheon instead?
Does it pain you that you will not inherit your father's throne?
I have suffered worse.
Count your blessings, Dion. For a base-born child to be chosen by Bahamut is miracle enough. You have risen high on his wings, but you shall rise no higher, lest your impure blood stain the throne.
What do you know of my blood?
The Boklab markets are to the north. We just need to hug the coast.
Ready, go?
هلا.
Infiltrating the Dominion won't be easy with the Imperials on high alert.
No. His Radiance has lost one capital already. We can be sure Sylvester will do everything in his power to hold on to Twinside. His troops are well-trained and increasingly battle-hardened. But it's not as if we can wait for the siege to end.
هلا بالزين.
اخبارتك؟
بالشرك الحمد لله. شو اخبار؟
يا لك الحمد.
شنو؟
صاحي؟
كنت 6 الصبح عدلت نومي خلاص.
سلمت سوالك.
مشكلة في يوم الصيام يعني بس يلا.
ايش انت شايف؟ والله المشكلة ما في حد إن هذا اليوم صمت.
نحتسب الأجر.
لا والله.
أنت متى قايم؟
قمت والله ما ادري، يمكن قمت 8 مرات ترى. صدق.
ايش النومة ذي؟
والله ما ادري. قمت الساعة 7 قلت أذن
7
المغرب شكله.
اوه.
كذا قلت لا انا ارجع انام 8 بقي صحيت الساعة 9.
ايش السالفة؟ لا يكون ما تسحرت ولا ما شربت مويه ولا
لا
شيء؟
تسحرت رجال بس ما شربت مويه.
والله مشكلة. انا ما تسحرت تعشيت.
والله شوف سحوري
شربت مويه
كان الساعة
عشاء عادي
12 عارف.
ليش؟ تعشيت شاورما مطعمك المفضل. بس والله الصدق يا اخي سعره مبالغ فيه صراحة.
شاورما
انا اقول عند مجيد امس يعني لو انه ما عندي الخصم 50% كان ما شريت منه يا اخي. والله سعره مبالغ فيه يا اخي.
وش خصم على الوجبات ولا مع التوصيل وكذا؟
خصم 50%. جالس اقول لك ذاك اليوم خصم 50%. والله يوفر يعني صاير ارخص من الاشياء الثانية. وانا افضل التوفير يعني. فيعني تعشيت وبقي مني ساندويتش بعد ويمكن حسابي كله ب25 ولا.
ما شاء الله يا هو.
اي والله يعني طالب سندوتشين وطالب ذي بطاطس مع دجاج وذي.
هذا ايش على تطبيقهم؟
اي من التطبيق. و5 استعمالات له. والله العظيم توفير مو بصاحي. خصم 50% اقصى شيء 25 ريال بس. مرة كويس الصدق.
شوف شاورما عندهم وجبة صراحة مرة حلوة اللي كانت علب، عرفتها؟
اللي كانت وشو؟
علب تجيك.
العلب هذه اللي يقول لك عنها الرجرج ذي تصير بطاطس وخبز ودجاج. لذيذة مرة نتفق معك هذه افضل شيء.
لا هم اسم وش رجرج.
ايه هم ترى اغبياء لو تلاحظ. الفلة حقتهم ذي احس الناس قلبوا عليهم عارف.
ايه اللي خلاص
رجرج راهية ذي يعني سمجت مشكلة حلبوها بزيادة.
يب
وما ادري وش يعني مسميات. انا اشوف الناس
الممحون اللبوة
ايه واسعارهم غالية. والصراحة الفروع والله تختلف عن بعض مرة. يعني فرع ذا نفس اللي ياكل منه. والله العظيم جت فترة بمبالغ اني اخذ الساندويتش وانا كنت جوعان مرة بس ما اقدر اكلها. يعني ما يعني اكل ما ينوكل. كانت تجي محروقة شوي من برا وتكون شوينية من داخل. اتوقع معلين النار او شيء. يعني الله يكرم نعمة. كنت يعني شوف انا والله اكره شيء عندي اني ارمي النعمة بس فعليا ما تنوكل يعني حرفيا ما تنوكل. يعني حتى ما تقدر تقول يعني بترميها في ارض فاضية يجي الحمام ياكلها ولا قطاع ولا شيء ما ينوكل ابد. الله يكرم نعمة. بس يبدو لي الحين اني ارجع يعني شوي مستواي يتحسن مع انه الى الان يعني الصدق يا اخي كل شيء عندهم زين بس الدجاج نفس الشاورما يا اخي مي بكويسه زي قبل.
ما الشاورما
انا اقول عند مجيد يا اخي سيخ
لو
الشاورما
انحرقت مصيبه.
اي مرات يكون محروق. شوف كيف السياخ الشاورما بشكل عام في المطاعم تلقاها متساويه مع بعض.
ايش هي
السياخ الشاورما ما يكون في يعني تكون نحيفه من فوق يكون في بروز بالنص. لا تكون كلها متساويه بمستوى واحد. فيوم يقطع لك الشاورما تجيك وصله طويله كذا ما تجيك قطع صغيره. فهمت قصدي؟
اي فاهمك.
يوم هذا يجيك يقطع الشاورما بسكين مثلا يقطعها من فوق لتحت فتكون كلها متساويه. قطع الدجاج تكون وصله واحده اصلا. شاورما رش مشكله